you want to be able to capture all of those colors inside a natural phenomenon like that. The best way to do that is to just scribble your colors on. Now, in selecting your colors, you have to be a little careful. You need a neutral, so you need a gray. And if you're working with warm colors, you can choose either a cool or a warm. I'm going to pick a cool gray to start with. It's going to be your mixing color. It's going to be how you mix all the other colors together. Cerulean blue, and I've got the celadon. So they're all middle value colors. So you can see it's a middle value. This one's a middle value. And this one is a bright. And then the 10 is the one I'll use for mixing. And it's nice and wet, so they have to be fairly wet. Then I need a dark cerulean. And you literally scribble. And when you're scribbling, you leave gaps so that the other colors can fill them in. You're wetting the paper, and you're also leaving space for the other colors to fill in on the bare paper. And I'll put some of this one in. And it's time for a little more of the gray, the light gray, to blend things in a little. And now I'll put some of the light cerulean. And it's looking really dark because it hasn't had a chance to dry yet. Okay, so now we can leave it, and we'll put some of this one in. This is rather unusual colors, but that's okay. We'll let it dry. So it's wet. My paper is actually rippled. The one at the top that I showed you, you have all of those colors. There's sand, light tan, and goldenrod. I don't know if you have goldenrod. That's a really beautiful color to get, goldenrod. If you don't have it, I would get that one, goldenrod. It's PM69. So it looks like this. It's a beautiful color. It's just a lovely ochre. So we divided up the tiles a little bit more now, and we can also see them here. But it was a little risky to try all those weird colors, but I wanted you to see that this is our white gel pen now that can lift out a little bit of highlight. You don't have to touch them all. You can just touch a few. And in fact, with tiles, there's usually an arc, just like with our other penumbra, where the light is mostly hitting the tiles. And you can put in a little bit of light, and that will help set them up. And it's not necessary, but you could take one of your colors and put a little shadow here and there. Maybe with our celadon green, we could put a little shadow. If it's on a wall, I would do this. On the floor, I don't think so. Unless, of course, you're finding that it's really looking too flat. Then, of course, you could. But if it's not, you could not. You don't have to do that. But it does give it a little more dimension. Here's an example where I didn't outline what's out there. And you can just vaguely see. So I put a white over all of it. If I didn't like that I couldn't see all of that, I could go back in and erase a little bit of it. If I found that I'd taken too much of this away, and I do want to see my foliage, then I can just wipe. That looks better now. It's not so ghostly. So that's not outlined. You've got to be careful of where you're directing the viewer's eye. Here, everything was so powerful. All the colors were so strong that if I hadn't outlined, this would have looked like a big blank space. It would have called too much attention to itself. Also, I didn't put the celadon over it because my focus is red, and if I put green beside it, I wasn't really sure if that would be the best idea. But now I'm thinking maybe that would be okay. And I've got a celadon pencil, and I can put that over. I outlined in black, but I went over the whole window with a white pencil. After I was done, I put in a white pencil. Now this seems okay. I think I like it better with the green, with the celadon. If you don't have a set of Prismacolors and you can afford to get one, I would get one. Someone said they went to Costco and got the artist grade pencils for almost nothing. So if you go there and you shop there, maybe you could see if they have them still. So I think that helped, putting that little bit in, because it brings attention to the... It's also important when you're doing your work to have a focus. Now, indicating windows themselves in your floor plan, you just put in a color that's glass-like. Could be one of your cerulean blues. That would work. Maybe your light cerulean. But whenever you do something in a strip like that, go from either end, dark to light, because light is going to hit the center. With this example, I colored the whole wall with this color first, and then I went back and put my mirror in. But essentially what's going on with mirrors is that they're reflecting all the colors in the room. But even more importantly, you need to put something in there that's repeated even more often than the colors, and that's the verticals in the room. So when you do a mirror, put in some verticals. They can be random as long as they're straight. So use your card, your stiff piece of card that I used before, to draw those in. Don't just put them in by hand. And then I put cloud blue over top in this case.